Folks, hope you are okay. I'm just giving a little bit of a debate review concerning a debate between William Albrecht and Jake, the Muslim metaphysician. There's also a link of the debate and information underneath the video. So some things that I want to say concerning that debate. Uh, I found that William Albrecht he gave absolute impeccable scholarship. He's a Catholic. I don't agree with his Roman Catholic theology on soteriology or on bibliology. But he gave the Roman Catholic William Albrecht. He gave a very scholarly presentation to show that Justin Martin was a Trinitarian. Jake, the Muslim metaphysician, was only able to give some quotations and with scholars, and that's the difference between William Albrecht and the difference between Jake, the Muslim metaphysician. William Albrecht not only gave the quotations, he gave much more the Greek of those quotations, far more detailed and scholarly than Jake did. He also gave more understanding of the historical background to Justin Martyr with his contemporaries, whereas Jake didn't have the scholarly information or astuteness to have studied the background and was unable to engage in a deeper scholarship. Jake was unable to engage on the deeper scholarship of the Greek. He was unable to engage in the deeper scholarship of the background information to Justin Martyr, which William Albrecht brought. And so, with that, William Albrecht gave a very commanding performance, a very commanding scholarly presentation of Justin Martin's understanding of the Trinity. And it's interesting that William Albrecht, when you have an English translation, say, of Justin Martyr, you could read it that he was not a Trinitarian as we would understand it. But when you go into the Greek, like you actually like the word creation. The word creation was used by Justin Martyr, and if you get that and you put it in English, creation, you could think, oh well, Christ was created, but the Greek is begotten, and it has the flavor of eternity. So that when we say when Justin Martyr says Christ is created, you read that in the English, you think, well, that means he didn't believe in the Trinity. But when you look at the word created, it's begotten, and it has the idea of eternal begotten, which is not the same as created because it's out of the essence of the Father. So William Albrecht did a good job in going beyond the English translation and going into the Greek, the nitty Greek of the scholarship of the Greek. Now, Jake, what he relied on was just quoting scholars. And you can quote scholars all day long, but you've got to give some content to your argument that you've looked at things in their context, and that's what he failed to present. He failed to present when William Albrecht asked uh, Jake about certain contemporaries of uh, of Justin Martyr who knew Justin Martyr, who said that he was a Trinitarian. William Jake could not engage with that. He just did. He actually complained. He said, "Oh, I can't know everything." Well, if you're going to have a debate on Justin Martyr, you need to know as everything really about the historical context. I mean, that would be a given. Um, and then he dishonestly pivoted towards mentioning the Nicene Creed, Jake. And so he contradicted himself about not trying to understand the historical context. one of the annoying things about Jake, and this is with Muslim debaters, is that he always kept interrupting William, always misrepresenting William. And to be honest, he's a very, very dishonest debater, a very, very dishonest debater, misrepresenting, overspeaking, pontificating about what William was saying when actually he wasn't letting William actually speak. He was always interrupting William, not allowing him to get his argument across. Very sneaky debate tactics, really. So Muslim metaphysician, Jake the Muslim metaphysician, I think is a disgrace, to be honest. I think he's a complete disgrace of a debater. He's completely dishonest in cross-examination. He's completely dishonest in his quotations because when he quotes something, he gets it out of context. He knows he's got it out of context, and yet he continues to quote it. I thought William Albrecht conducted himself impeccably, both in his character and in his scholarship, and I think he won the day in showing that Justin Martyr was a Trinitarian. That's my view of the debate. I don't agree with William's theology. I think it's up the creek in terms of justification by faith. He's a Catholic and he believes in Mariology and all the rest of it, so I don't agree with that. And he doesn't believe in sola scriptura, so I don't agree with that. I'm sola scriptura. But there is a big difference between someone who does scholarly work, comes with a character that is being fair and honest in the debate, and someone who is by nature deceptive. He's a very deceptive person, Jake the Muslim metaphysician. And you could see it on his face. You could actually, in fact, let's have a look at the debate. Look at Jake's face. Look at his face. Just look at his face. He knows he was losing and he didn't know what he was talking about. Let's just go through it a little bit.
Numerically distinct, but they share the same will. That's the divine essence, Jake. The divine essence. By the way, Jake read the Schaff edition, which I also said it's on New Advent. You can look at it. Sense.
In which
his face?
In Saint Justin, where he utilizes latruo. I just pulled it up in the Greek.
Yeah.
In the negative sense. So you will admit that Justin only uses latruo for God and God alone in the positive sense. In the negative sense, he will use it for those under a yoke of bondage, if you will.
No. So my position is that yes, latruo is used in a negative sense in both of the texts in Deuteronomy and also the one that you were just mentioning that I quoted from Justin. However, the point that I was making there is that in that text from Justin himself, he's using latruo, although in a negative sense, not in the sense of cultic worship. It's only in the sense as to a judge or authority, which demonstrates that the word latruo does not always have to mean worship to the Most High God in that sense of cultic worship.
Then let's change it around, because I don't agree with you, first off. I think that they're worshiping there. I don't agree with you, but let's change it around there. And let's say, as I asked you, in the positive sense, does Justin say that latruo is to be given to God and God alone, the servitude? We're not debating the utilization of proskuneo. We agree on that. I'm not sure why you brought that up. Latruo, is it to be given to God and God alone in the positive sense in St. Justin?
No, not necessarily.
Then show me how it cannot be.
Well, we have the example of
Just to say, when I was a kid, like 5 years of age, I ran from my. There was nobody in the house. It was late at night, and I ran. I thought there was a pirate. I was only like 4 years old and 5 years old, so I ran out of the house. I ran down the road, and it was raining, and I kept looking, and I thought a pirate was chasing me with one leg, and I get to my granddad and grandma's house, and my granddad opened the door, and I'm banging. I'm thinking this pirate's coming after me. And my granddad picked me up. He's got his pink long johns, and he took me upstairs, and I slept with my grandma and granddad in the bed. Now, why am I talking about this? Because in the morning, my grandma got up, and right next to the chair, she sat on one of them chair toilets. And I kept looking at my grandma. I thought, this is a miracle. I was only like 4 or 5. I thought, how's she getting rid of the thing that, what comes down below? But the point is that Jake is looking like someone on one of those old-fashioned potties. He is looking like he knows he's beat. He knows that William Albrecht knows what he's talking about, and he can't deal with the Greek. And that's the difference between William Albrecht. He's gone into the minutiae of the Greek text of Justin Martyr's works, whereas Jake was using scholars and he didn't know the background of the Greek text nor the historical background of Justin Martyr.
What's up for debate?
So look at Jake's face.
Dispute, which obviously is what we're debating, which is Letruo being applied to the Son in chapter 31 of his dialogue, which I read from. So obviously that's the disputed passage.
How on earth is that disputed? If he first off, you're not answering the question. Letruo is given to the Son from St. Justin, but that wasn't my question.
I'm agreeing with that.
But that wasn't. How can that be up for dispute? It's in the critical text.
No. I'm not saying that. You misunderstood me. What I meant by dispute is when you say, is Letruo for Justin only used for God alone? I'm saying the only.
No, I mean in the positive sense.
Yeah, in a positive sense. The only case that I would argue that we have other than that is chapter 31, which is what we are disputing the interpretation of. And
we have Letruo multiple times in Justin, Jake. But we have it in multiple times.
That text itself, hold on a second, that text itself is Justin merely quoting a translation of the Old Testament.
What does that matter? It doesn't matter if he's quoting a translation.
It does, because you're reading far too much in merely him quoting that passage.
Jake,
that's what my claim is. He's not independently
that's fine that that's your claim. That's fine that that's your claim about Daniel 7. My question is crystal clear, and you can't answer it. I'm gonna keep hammering it home.
I think I've
does Saint Justin? You have not, Jake. Does Saint Justin, in the positive sense, say that Letruo is to be given to God and God alone? In the TLG, in the Greek, he applies it multiple times over and over in his writings, and he says it's to be given. We serve God and God alone. In the positive sense, it's either a yes or no. Is it in the positive sense to be given to God?
I answered that.
So the answer is yes.
I answered that. I said yes, with the clarification that the one passage in chapter 31 is open to interpretation. And I'm saying that is applying to the Son, but based on the entire body of Justin's work, we know that he doesn't believe he's the Most High God.
Jake, I just got you on the air to admit the Letruo in St. Justin is used for God and God alone in the positive sense, and you just admitted it's used for Christ by Justin when he quotes it in Daniel 7. You just admitted it, Jake.
That's not what I said. I said.
Then clarify for the audience.
I said very clearly, William, that yes, Letruo is normally used for God alone, and in the passage you're
in the positive sense.
And yes, that's what we're talking about. Very clear. Sure. I've already openly stated that those other two texts are in the negative sense. But what I'm saying,
that's just a. So that's the debate there. It was a mismatch. William Albrecht absolutely knew the scholarship. He knew the Greek text of Justin Martyr. He knew the historical background. He knew his stuff. And Jake just didn't. Like looking at the Greek there, you saw, for example, he just didn't know the background of the Greek text, like William Albrecht knew it. And that also goes for the historical context. And so there's a couple of lessons we need to learn. When you're looking at the Church Fathers, if you read it on a surface level, if you read Tertullian on a surface level, you could think Tertullian didn't believe in the Trinity. If you read the Church Fathers on a surface level, and even if you go to scholars, you could get it from scholars saying, "Oh, Tertullian's not a Trinitarian," or Justin Martyr's not a Trinitarian. You have to read these books very, very carefully and really make notes and really think it through, because very often we misunderstand the language of these writers, and because we misunderstand the language of these writers, for example, take Tertullian. You can read Tertullian, and you can get the impression that Jesus has been created, that he wasn't God, right? But then you miss some of the language that Tertullian uses, where he says substance. The Son is the same substance as the Father. And so you can take one bit of language of Tertullian and completely come to completely different understanding Tertullian than what Tertullian had, because you've missed other language and other words that Tertullian has used. So when you're reading the Church Fathers, you've got to be very, very careful that you don't take a few quotations and then just come up with some understanding. It requires careful study. Tertullian is very, very deep, very difficult to understand. And you've got quite a lot of writing with Justin Martyr. So you've got to be careful. So when Muslims are coming along as apologists and saying, oh, Justin Martyr was not a Trinitarian, and here's a few quotations, it can seem plausible, but actually there's a lot more to it than what they're presenting. And that's what Albrecht does. William Albrecht did very, very well. Again, I don't agree with his Catholicism, but he did very, very well in presenting a very clear understanding, scholarly understanding of the teachings of Justin Martyr. And one of the things about Justin Martyr is you have to go to his comments. This is very important with Justin Martyr. What Jake and other people will do, Muslim scholars, Muslim apologists, not scholars because they're not scholars in Justin Martyr, but Muslim apologists, what they'll do is they'll grab a few quotations of Justin Martyr, say that he's not a Trinitarian, but one of the areas where it comes out very clearly that Trinitarianism in Justin Martyr is when he starts talking about the Old Testament angels appearing. That's when it really gets interesting and really crystallizes into the Trinity in Justin Martyr's exposition of these angels appearing, like, for example, in the burning bush, um, coming to Sodom and Gomorrah and things like that, you know. Amen. Amen. God bless you, bro. So, unless you're interested in studying church history, studying Justin Martyr, um, it's a very intricate debate. So, I wouldn't encourage you to go and watch the debate. I'm just giving you my opinion. My opinion is that Muslim metaphysician is a very dishonest debater, and he'll use every tactic to get out of really actually going deeper into the topic. He's done that with Jay Dyer. He's done that with. He even debated a Muslim apologist. Yeah, Jake, the Muslim metaphysician, debated a Muslim apologist who didn't agree with his Islamic Salafism because Muslim metaphysician, the Salafis believe that God has hands and feet, etc. So he debated another Muslim on it, a doctor of Islamic theology, but from a different opinion. And every debate that Jake has, and I've watched his debate, most of his debates, every debate, he interrupts people, accuses people, misrepresents people. He likes to quote scholars, but he's not really in depth studying a topic in its in depth background, etc. He presents as if he knows the literature of a topic, but in this debate, as in many of his debates, he doesn't really know how to engage. That's my opinion. So there, I'm gonna go. It's just a little statement there. So comedy sensation, God bless you, bro. And Um, the thing is that Zaid is that as Jake said, you can get a variety of scholars to follow your opinion, to buttress your opinion. You can easily do that on any topic. It's not just quoting the scholars. It's actually doing the groundwork of finding the evidence. Scholars are helpful, but you need to have the evidence. Like I can say, for example, on the cross, Jesus dying, I could say, Bart Ehrman says Jesus dying on a cross. Dominic Crossan says Jesus died on a cross. Gerd Ludemann says Jesus died on a cross. And that they all affirm that Jesus died on the cross is one of the most well-attested facts in ancient history. So quoting those scholars is good, but I need to undergird it with some evidence, you see. And that's what Albrecht was saying is these scholars, he don't listen to them because he doesn't regard that they don't have the evidence. All right? So that's it. So God bless you. Just a little video of a review. And just have a lovely day, and God bless you, and enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you.